This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Nowa Bruzda. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and as of this video release, this map is available for PC only. Now, when I first saw this map show up in the mod hub and I looked at the PDA, I was thinking, wow, I've seen that map before. And then I read the description, and this is a return from Farm Sim 17, now in Farm Sim 19. This is another wonderful Polish map. This one has a bit of a different feel than some of the other Polish maps that we've seen where we have kind of stripped field farming. This has more traditional field layouts. And the premise of this map, according to the description, is player starts the game on the premise of the former state farm with several hectares of field and small machine park. So this has 5 villages, 44 fields, 14 buying points, placeable buildings to adapt for farm expansion, traffic, seasons mask, and a lot more. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So I will tell you that there should not be an issue with this map and straw harvest and seasons because this map does not have any additional crops. You shouldn't have any issue with seasons and straw harvest. Go ahead and pull up the log. The map loads up pretty quick. And here we are in our career start point. First thing we'll do is let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. So as we zoom out, you can see more traditional field layout. We do not have square fields here other than just a few small plots over here to the west. If we take a look at the lands area, we start out by owning the large farm complex here, as well as areas 25, 34, 33, and then the grass area here to the north. Field prices are, I would say, comparable given the size of some of these fields. Field 39 is $1.1 million. Area 1 is $795,000. Then we have areas over here like 19, $43,000, 30, $40,000, area 8 at $76,000. So there are farmlands and other buyable lands that pretty much should fit any economic category. You're going to see here we have all of the standard crops here available on the map. And 14 sell points according to the description. Lots of places to sell your stuff. But interesting enough, I haven't found a BGA on the map, so I don't think there is one included. That's okay. In Farm Sim 19, in the age of placeables, there are plenty of ways to put a BGA into a map. Got the barn here. Got a couple other sell points. Very few sell points except the bulk of our crops. A lot of these sell points are very specific as to what they accept. Got 2 sell points that accept the bulk of our grains. And then we have a lot of other sell points that kind of pick and choose what they want to buy. For all, we do have a sell point for eggs, wool, and cotton, as well as milk. Take a look here at our vehicle overview. You're going to see that the equipment that we do start with does have some age to it. Does already have some operating hours and is in various states of maintenance or disrepair. So we're not going to get top dollar if we sell all of this stuff off. We also should pay attention to maybe maintaining our equipment before we get too far into our gameplay. Now, this map does not have any pre-placed animal pens, but it does have some custom modded animal pens. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. You have contracts available here on the map. Field 1, as just a general size reference, is 46 acres in size. Field 1 is right here, one of the bigger fields. Now, if we go back here to the lands, the outside portion of the map and the town here in the middle, that is basically non-viable land. It's been priced out at $27 million, but we do obviously have plenty of viable land here within the map. Go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with 3 tractors, the Fiat 1300 DT, Case 7210 Pro. We have a pair of those. Our tractors range in horsepower from 150 to 214 horsepower. We've got the New Holland TX32 Harvester. Included with that is the grain header, a pair of HW80 trailers. We have the AGROPiotrmosz plow and cultivator. We have a weight, and then we start in with the placeable walls. We have lots of placeable wall sections. So, for example, I am scrolling as we speak here, and obviously when you have multiples of the same thing, you don't realize you're scrolling until something changes. So there's a lot of wall sections here, fence sections, and then we do have a sleep trigger. But while we're here taking a look at the placeables, take a look at the animal pens, and we do have custom animal pens available. They're just not pre-placed. So we have several custom cow sheds and sheep sheds. So this one here, $89,000, holds 80 cows. $110,000 holds 90 cows. $116,000 holds 90 cows. $152,000 holds 180 cows. We have our sheep pastures, $51,000 for 50, $63,000 for 70, $110,000 for 140 cows. Our miscellaneous, we have a large list of various things. We've got various workshop triggers, range from just some simple deco and a trigger to a building, various other just random buildings lying around. We also have placeable herbicide, fertilizer, fuel areas, and then, of course, fences and gates. This map does not have a farm silo pre-placed. So if you want to use a farm silo, you're going to need to place one yourself. And basically to do that, you can either use an in-game placeable, use a modded placeable, or you can use one of these modded silos that are built into the map. You have a large grain silo, $310,000. A little disappointing at the fact that this is not pre-placed in the map. Given the price of it, you're not going to cheat in money. It's probably going to be a while before you're going to be able to afford this nice, attractive silo that really matches with the theme of the map. 480,000 liter capacity though. Have a silo extension, and then we have some custom bunker silos. Decoration, there is a lot of decoration available to really add up map. Got our in-game easy sheds, and then we have some customized sheds that are variants on the easy shed. Buildings, again, that are themed. And then we have the accommodation or the sleep trigger. Let's go ahead and take a look at where the sleep trigger is. To do that, we have to go inside the house. So if you come inside the house here and you go to the right, there is your sleep trigger. You now have the option of sleeping. This door does not open, but the other 3 doors here on this level do indeed open up. Have some nice decorative areas inside this building. All right, so let's go ahead and take a little bit of a tour of this industrial farm. Now, the first thing you may notice is the building textures are a bit on the low side, low res side. Got really nice blending here. To some degree, we've got this cobblestone. I guess you would call that a cobblestone kind of drive area. Now, some of these buildings have operable doors and some of these buildings do not. This tank here is simply decorative. It does not have an actual trigger to it. Buildings don't look too terrible bad from a distance. When you get up close to them, you can really tell that they're showing their age. That kind of fits the theme, but also buildings are really showing their age. Got our Fiat tractor, cases, harvester in here. Be a perfect spot for that that silo. And I assume that you can maybe tip the ground in here. You don't have a silo for now. You have this building inside here that you could probably tip some grain into. I haven't looked to see if these walls have tip collisions on them. The one thing that I want to do is I'm going to buy a little bit of land. And then what I want to do is basically put some of these animal pens down just to explore what they look like. There's a lot of animal areas here. Is the grass field just north of the farm. Alright, so let's go here and check out all of these animal areas. These are all built into the map. So we have several cow pens and then a few sheep pens. We've got our water trough. And this particular placeable is not set up to have built-in support for the animal pen extension mod. And that is basically what brings us this water valve. But we can indeed use this mod should we so wish. Our straw trigger there. Our delivery trigger. 4 cows. And then inside here we have the food trough. Milk trigger. Ignore this. This is where we obviously placed this way too close to the road. And I didn't realize that this field was not actually level. We squashed ground down quite a bit. That was all on me. And this larger placeable area, we've got our milk trigger. Got our water trigger once again. Got our slurry and our manure. believe this haystack was here. So again, don't worry about that. Just me and how I placed the building for the video. Like I can open that door. So we have our food trough in here, and I'm also going to be assuming that our straw trigger is in here. Looks like there are two triggers here, one for food and one for straw. We have another cow area at our water trough, straw trigger, very similar to the cow area that we looked at earlier. Milk trigger, animal bio trigger, food trough. Now, these we're not necessarily seeing straw and, or not straw, but slurry and manure. There's our slurry trigger, and possibly manure just is going to pile up here. Another cow area. Bit of a redesign on this one. This one is the larger of the pens. We have a water trough. Food trigger. As well as our straw trigger. Our milk trigger. Going to be where our manure is going to be piling up. I'm trying to figure out where the delivery point is for this one. Yep. And let's take a look at the animal area here. See, we've got our general standard food types, cleanliness conditions, manure, slurry, milk, slurry and milk, and manure, slurry, and milk. And we have our sheep enclosures. Wool, water trigger, oh, that's collision on our door. Have our food trough. You're there. Here's our slurry point for that other cow area. Food trough, water trigger, a little bit bigger, I think, slightly redesigned. Sheep pen, wool, 5 point for a sheep. This is the longer one. Wool, water trough, food trough. And that's it. We just have 3. Yeah, we just have 3 sheep areas. So with that, let's go ahead and set up for a bit of a fly around, and we'll fly around the map and take a look at it from above. Then we'll jump in our Mahindra at the shop and then do a bit of a drive around. Now we can see from above the various animal areas. We've got 4 cow pens and 3 custom sheep areas. Was, of course, grass before we put all that down. Then we have our pre-built farm. On Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, the buildings are pre-placed. The equipment is still here. The only thing is we just don't own the land. And you can see basically those fence sections we talked about are going to be enclosing the farm. Sell those fence sections off to kind of expand the area a bit, which is pretty interesting. I like that idea. So let's go ahead and just kind of take a look around. Flying up here towards the northeast of the map. This is going to be where the bulk of our sell points are. Description says the map has 5 villages. This is going to be one of those. Now, the texture flashing only seems to really make itself prevalent when we're up here in the air like this. The map has 2 fuel triggers, one here in the north and one in the south. There is placeable fuel triggers available in the shop to buy. Got village number 2 over here, where we have our animal dealer and spinnery. Our vehicle shop is up here. Down here in the center west of the map, we have village number 3. Down the road from there, we have village number 4. It is the closest village to our farming complex. Right over there. And then further down the road here, in the southeast of the map, we have village number 5. So we do have some areas where we have things like these utility poles that are going across the fields. These do have collisions. To be aware of that. Like to use hired help or course play, you're going to have to deal with them needing to round those. That one, go and say these things and then fly right through that one. So the big ones over here definitely have collisions. That's what I was basing my statement on. These do not. Flying right through those. These over here did. We get stopped when we come into these. So the big ones do have collisions. It doesn't look like these smaller poles have collisions, so that's good to know. All right, so let's go back to the shop and we'll get set up for the drive around. As promised, we have suddenly transported to the shop. Go ahead and get our Mahindra. See where that flies in here, and so that's where your new spawn point is for your vehicles. Got our maintenance trigger here. I have the shop trigger over here if you're the type of person that likes to use those things. Gotta guess that these signs are supposed to stick up over the edge of the building. An interesting design standpoint. Go ahead and well, start exploring the map properly. If we can get out of the shop. Doesn't look like that gate works. As I said in the beginning of the video, this map does have a seasons mask, and looking at the mod files in the map itself, does look like this map includes custom lighting. So under this shed here, we do have a bale cell trigger. The real interesting road texture. This is a kind of a modeled road. A little bit on the low res side again. That is kind of an interesting road nonetheless. So now over here we've got our animal dealer. Whole complex is set up for the animal dealer, and our animal trigger is right here. It would be nice if the animal dealer was maybe set up to buy silage. I think it'd be cool if the animal trigger was actually back there at that loading ramp also. I don't know if it's the custom lighting in the map or if there are custom shaders to the crop textures. That cotton looked a bit on the discolored side. A little sickly. That's the animal dealer. Trigger for spinnery. So we have our wool and cotton here. Head on down the road to our next village and subsequently our next sell point. Here we've got our grain sell point. And then inside here we have a root crop sell point. One for potatoes. Let's do a little in-cab driving. between here and the next sell point, there is the railroad tracks that we kind of have seen in the flyover and the drive around. I don't know if they have a train that runs through here. I haven't seen it in my exploration of the map or recording the video, so it may just be decorative. But it's definitely not a rideable train. We have our fuel. Our fuel stations here to the north. Next town, kind of the bigger town, big city of the map, if you will. Sell points here. We have a sugar beet sell point. We have our sawmill. We have our log sell point. And over here we have our sell point for wood chips here at this pile. Other than the low textures on the buildings, which, you know, again, at a distance, not that big of a deal. When you get up close to them, you get to these sell points and you start going into these sell point areas, textures really do show their age, especially when they're kind of paired up with other things that just feel maybe a bit higher res. Like this utility panel just feels like it's a bit higher resolution than the building walls itself. This has come off of a Farm Sim 19 building. Been placed here on this building. It tends to start to stand out a bit. Start mixing these low res textures and these higher res decorative aspects. Potato sell point here. So it would be nice to see the building textures kind of refreshed, as opposed to just rehashed. Kind of looked a little bit aged in 17, and they are really starting to show their age now in 19. Got another sell point here. This is probably going to be for our milk and eggs. Look. There we have, this is an egg sell point. Down here to kind of our big industrial grain silo. Our in scale. Have our dump station here. We're back up to it, depending on our trailer, or pull to the side. We have a side dump. we have things and details like this field over here. Have these bales in it. Really nice kind of additive detail. This being a non-buyable field. This is part of the non-buyable land, but set up with straw bales. You have collisions, a harvested field, just to give it a little bit of life and character. Make our way all the way down the side of the map. The next village. Flow of the roads is really nice. So we're not talking about a straight run down south. We've got these curves, switchbacks. And this is our other fuel trigger on the map, down here to the south. Milk sell point down here. My road, this is my turn off. Wrapping around the back. Of a grain sell point that is basically inside this building here. Dump our grain. And then we have another root crop sell point here inside of this building. Based on the pasture, I would say this one's set up for potatoes. And we've got that kind of detail. We've got those aged grass field or grass bales kind of sitting out there in non-playable grass field. Little details like that that really stand out. Kind of wish you would see more on maps. Traffic's moving along at a decent clip on the map. It's not super slow. Here we are moving at around 35 miles an hour. So, you know, on a typical tractor, you're not going to get held up a lot by traffic. It's going to be moving pretty much at the pace that you're going to be moving, or maybe a little faster. Overall, I think it's a really nice map. Again, wish maybe the textures were refreshed a bit for 19. There is the map's namesake town. Our farm is just to the right. Trying to put off here to the left. This is going to be a sell point for, let's take a look. Another milk sell point. Seen that cow before inside the house. And then one final sell point, and then we're going to close out the video. All right, we need to go ahead and drive on up to the 5th village. Guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the map? Did you play this in Farm Sim 17? Were you looking forward to this map's return, hoping the map would return? Or is this map new to you and therefore, you know, whole new world to explore? Turn around. This is my entrance into here. Traffic feels rather well behaved. Sometimes you get on a map and you're like, oh, the traffic is just brutal. Here. Loop. And this is the last grain dump. Guys, there you go. That is Nowa Bruzda. Again, this map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. As of the production of this video, this map is available for PC only. Let me know in the comments. Sound off. What do you think of this map? And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.